On June 19th, Erika purged her Instagram of a lot of pictures, 126 posts she deleted. And I had wondered what drove that. Why would you delete 126 posts off of your Instagram page?
Erika Kirk was never a stay-at-home wife. She was the operator.
Erika Kirk is now seemingly in full damage control mode, allegedly deleting old Instagram posts after parents started demanding answers about children who were seen on her page. And this is where things start getting a lot more serious, because this is no longer just random internet gossip. People are digging through old posts, screenshotting everything, and asking one specific question: where are those kids now? At the same time, the Romania connection is resurfacing again, along with her past charity work and alleged ties that people online are now trying to piece together into something much bigger. Over the past 30 days alone, Erika reportedly deleted more than 40 posts as scrutiny from online investigators intensified, especially after a wave of claims began spreading more widely. And here's the thing: deleting posts might clear them off your page, but it does not erase them from the internet. Because one post that people keep bringing up goes all the way back to February 2015. In that post, Erika is on a TV set and the caption reads, "The perk of playing a young mom TV role, hourly baby rentals." That line alone has turned into a huge talking point, not necessarily because of what it meant back then, but because of how it sounds now with everything else currently being discussed. One user responded by saying, "She's scrubbing her skeletons." And honestly, that reaction sums up exactly what a lot of people are thinking, because when old posts start disappearing right as serious questions begin to surface, it usually draws more attention instead of shutting anything down. Now, as many people already know, Erika Kirk has also been linked online to an alleged trafficking narrative tied to her past charity work in Romania. This is where it becomes very important to separate what has actually been documented from what is purely speculation. Erika founded a nonprofit in 2006 called Everyday Heroes Like You. Through that organization, she ran a project called Romanian Angels in Constanța, Romania. The stated purpose of the project was to support local orphans. One of the main initiatives involved a Christmas wishlist program where people in the United States could adopt a child for the holidays by donating gifts. Those gifts were then delivered with the help of U.S. military personnel stationed at a nearby NATO base. Romanian media coverage at the time, between 2011 and 2015, portrayed those efforts positively. Reports documented donations being delivered to hospitals and placement centers, with no mention of suspicious activity connected to the charity. However, the use of the word adopt in that holiday program has since been pulled out of context online. Some critics have used that wording to imply illegal adoptions or trafficking, even though the program itself referred to gift sponsorship, not actual adoption.
An international project called Romanian Angels where they sponsor an orphanage in Romania. And what they did at that orphanage is so sickening and demonic that I can't even say it online or I'll probably get banned.
There have also been claims involving a 2001 investigation into adoption agencies in Romania, and that case is now being used by some people online as supporting evidence, even though Erika's organization was not founded until 2006. Now, some people online do admit that the timeline does not directly place her there at that time, but they still argue that the system they are pointing to may have already been operating years before she ever got involved. So their argument is not necessarily that she was part of that earlier case, but that the same kind of network could have already been in place behind the scenes before her charity ever entered the picture. On top of that, Erika publicly documented multiple trips to Romania between 2012 and 2014, which contradicts claims that she had been banned from traveling to the region. At the same time, some online discussions also reference a 2019 criminal complaint involving a U.S. military official stationed at the same Romanian base. That case has now been pulled into conversations surrounding the charity, even though no direct link to Erika has been confirmed. Even with those clarifications, the situation has continued to escalate because of the broader context. There are real, documented trafficking cases connected to Romania. Investigations have shown that children, some as young as 10, were groomed and transported to other countries, including the UK, where they were exploited. Reports describe how those victims were controlled and forced into abusive conditions while authorities struggled to fully dismantle the networks responsible. In another case, A 26-year-old woman publicly stated that she had been trafficked across multiple countries, including Hungary, Austria, and Switzerland. According to her account, she was first targeted at the age of 16 by someone she trusted. She described being manipulated with promises of a better life and eventually forced into exploitation. Even after trying to escape, she said she was later deceived again and drawn into another traveling situation before finally getting out with outside help.
Most of the interviews, these women told me stories of being picked up from their home country, recruited in their teens, being groomed, being brought to New York, put in small apartments, given limited money.
Stories like these have added weight to the conversation.
Stories like these have added even more weight to the conversation because they show that trafficking networks do exist and have operated in the same region connected to Erika's past charity work. And that brings the spotlight right back to the current situation. Because now some parents are reportedly coming forward and asking questions about the children Erika had previously posted with. They want to know where those children are today. They want answers about who those children were, how they were connected to her work, and why those posts are suddenly no longer visible. Because regardless of past rumors, this part of the story is about identifiable children appearing in social media content and that content being removed without explanation. Which leads to one major question: why delete the posts now? If the content was harmless and properly documented at the time, then removing it under pressure only raises more questions. At the same time, Erika has not really explained any of this in detail. She has not publicly stepped forward to directly address the exact concerns people are raising, which leaves everything wide open to interpretation. And it does not stop there. She also has not directly denied the claims being made by Candace Owens, and those claims are extensive, which is exactly why some people are now saying, if all of this was completely false, wouldn't she have taken legal action by now? Now, this is where things take yet another turn, because people online have also started bringing up Erika's children. We know she has two, a son and a daughter. But some of the theories circulating right now go much further, with people questioning whether those children are biologically hers at all and speculating about how they came into her life. One of the reasons people keep pointing to is the lack of publicly documented pregnancy photos. Aside from an ultrasound image that some have already questioned, there is not much that clearly shows that timeline. And for some people, that absence is only creating even more suspicion, as if things were not already suspicious enough.
As if things couldn't be any more suspicious than they already are. Can anybody tell me why I can't find a picture of Erika Kirk pregnant? None. Not one. Not any in her podcast.
Others are also examining her current lifestyle. She is frequently seen traveling, doing interviews, and appearing in media spaces, which has led some people to ask how often she is physically with her children and what her day-to-day life actually looks like behind the scenes. Then there is the way the children have been presented online. In the photos that have been shared, their faces are usually hidden, which is not unusual for privacy reasons, especially for public figures. However, some viewers claim the images do not always appear consistent, pointing to differences in how the children look from one post to another. For example, some have said that in certain photos, the son appears older than expected, and that has only added more fuel to the speculation.
Y'all, these ages don't match with the ages of her children. The children shown in this picture appear to be approximately, the boy looks like he's 4 or 5, and the girl looks 3. Publicly available information indicates that Erika and Charlie's kids, definitely the son, is much younger, approximately 1.
At this point, none of these claims have been confirmed, but they continue to spread because there still has not been a direct response addressing them. And without that response, the speculation just keeps growing. Then layered on top of that, you have new theories about her personal life, her children, and the inconsistencies people believe they are noticing. All of it is unfolding at the same time, which is exactly why this situation is not dying down. It is escalating. Because once people start connecting timelines, screenshots, and unanswered questions, it stops feeling like just another online rumor cycle and starts becoming something people want fully explained. And right now, the one thing that is clearly missing is clarity. No direct answers to the specific questions people are asking. So the conversation keeps expanding, with more people digging, more posts resurfacing, and more pressure building around the same central question. What is actually going on here? Because if there is nothing to hide, then why delete the posts? And if there is more to the story, then how much of it are we still not seeing? For now, there are still more questions than answers. And until something concrete is addressed, this story is not going away anytime soon.